And winding road trip wraps up tonight in Kansas City. A journey that began 10 days ago with the Tribe a game and a half up in the AL Central. It concludes tonight with a one-game lead over the defending world champions. A win tonight means the Indians return home in first place all by themselves. Corey Kluber, the ace of the staff, goes for the Indians, and they'll need a Cy Young performance. Coming up next on Sports Time Ohio. It was a scorcher today in Kansas City. The mercury hit triple digits. Luckily, it's down a degree or two. But tonight's game will be a battle not only between the teams, but the humidity and the heat in Kansas City as well. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Kansas City has won the first two in this particular series. And if you take a look at what the Indians did to Kansas City earlier this year, Royals are starting to get a little payback. They beat them late in the ball game last night, and it was a key misplay defensively that really opened the door for the Royals.
It certainly did, and believe it or not, it's the first loss for the Indians when they were leading after 7. They are now 30-1, but there's a play. Ramirez didn't transfer into his hand, so it gives him an extra out. He was able to come back and get Lorenzo Cain on the strikeout, but the very first pitch from Salvador Perez, he hit it out of the ballpark, 2-run home run. That stopped their string. They had 11 consecutive solo shots. That 2-run home run beat the Indians right there, and in his 6-game hitting streak, 5 multi-hit games, he's 12 for 24, and he'll be the DH in tonight's ball game for Kansas City.
So the Indians will need a win tonight to assure themselves of the top spot in the American League Central Division when this road trip wraps up here this evening. So you look back a year ago, Francisco Lindor made his rookie debut, finished runner-up to Carlos Correa for Rookie of the Year honors, but he's quickly proving that last year was no fluke and no flash in the pan.
No, he will hold number 2 to nobody because this young man comes out, and I'll tell you what, it's been a treat to watch him. Not only offensively, he can hit left-handed, he hits right-handed. He's a great defender as well. He's actually been a spark plug for this team. And personality-wise, he's there day in and day out, a big smile. And I'll tell you what, he's very infectious. And any place you go, the first person they want to talk about is Francisco Lindor. And you can see 62 multi-hit games, 21 games with 3 or more hits. He has been a treat to watch.
So it's the Indians and the Royals wrapping up this 3-game series tonight. The Indians trying to get out of Dodge without being swept. We'll be back with tonight's first pitch coming up. But first, Alan Jensen will join us from the studio and preview tonight's pitching matchup when we come back. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City, Missouri. The series finale. The Indians trying to win and maintain sole possession of first place in the American League Central Division, a spot they have held for the past 11 days since they beat Kansas City back in Cleveland on their last homestand. Before we get underway tonight, here's Andre Knott with our Hear Right Sounds of the Game and Terry Francona.
Get ready to finish up this road trip. You talk about this road trip. It's been a lot of close games, and then playing here and the emotion of playing in here. How fun has the series been for you despite the losses?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you set out to win, so when you lose a couple close ones, you're not happy with that. But playing the games here are fun because they're a good team. They have great crowds. There's a lot of noise going on, a lot of enthusiasm. It's a tough place, but that doesn't mean it's not a fun place.
Kluber on the mound for you. You've said all along that when Corey Kluber's on the mound, you feel good about your team. His last 3-4 starts, he's starting to really turn it on. Good guy to finish this series up with, having him on the mound for you.
I can't really come up with a bad day for him to pitch. I mean, and that's the good part about having good pitchers is whether you want him to end a losing streak, start a new one, continue one. You know, when you're facing good teams, that's part of what good pitchers do.
You guys have played 20 days in a row, I believe now. Ramirez has a day off, just a day off for him with the heat and everything else.
Yeah, and just, you know, he hasn't swung the bat great on this trip. And with the, you know, being kind of a little body, I think sometimes when he doesn't have his legs under him, if they get a little tired, he doesn't swing the bat quite as well. He hit a ball yesterday to right that he hit it good, and it didn't go. And I think that gives you a little bit of an idea that maybe a guy needs a rest. And the other thing is they have a left-hander in the bullpen tonight for the first time, so it gives us a chance to have somebody on the bench with our left-hand hitting outfielders.
How much differently does this ballpark play with the heat that they have that's going on right now?
Well, I mean, I think if you talk to just about every player, they would prefer playing in this than the cold of April. But I think we also have an obligation to kind of keep an eye on our guys and not waste the energy during, you know, batting practice and infield and ground balls. So we try to be selective in what we do prior to the game to make sure guys are ready to go at 7:15.
Looking forward to the off day, obviously, tomorrow. But you get home, seems like there's going to be some big crowds when you get home. Like where you guys are at with the team and like where the crowds will be?
Well, I mean, we always want to have a better record. I mean, that's human nature. But in the past, we've had to dig ourselves out of so many holes that the good part is right now we're playing the same as or better than everybody else in our division. So it's got to be a jumping off point, though. It can't just be the high water mark. As far as crowds go, you know, we can't control that, but I do know that the guys love because when our place gets not even full, but when it gets, you know, when that lower bowl's full, that place gets going. Those people get into it, and you can really notice a difference, and I know our guys appreciate it.
Well, it certainly will be interesting to see the reception the ball club gets when they return home, hopefully with a win tonight and sole possession of first place. But in order to do that, they'll have to beat Ian Kennedy and the Kansas City Royals tonight on their home turf, which not many people have been able to do. Kansas City has the best home mark in baseball at 21-7 in terms of winning percentage, fewest home losses in the big leagues. The Indians starting lineup tonight is brought to you by Progressive. Rajai Davis in the leadoff spot. Jason Kipnis will bat second. He has 3 hits in the series, including a double and a home run. Francisco Lindor will hit third. Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, and Lonnie Chisenhall occupy the middle third. Then it's Yan Gomes, Tyler Naquin, and Michael Martinez, who gets the start at third base tonight.
Tonight's Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is going to be Ian Kennedy for the Kansas City Royals. His 13th start this year. He's a 31-year-old right-hander, signed a 5-year deal with the Royals January 29th. He's been in a little bit of a rut. The last win he received was against the Indians in Cleveland back on May 7th. He's gone 6 starts without a win. And 2 starts ago, the Indians were able to beat him back in Cleveland, where he pitched 6 innings, gave up 8 hits and 5 runs. So on the year, he's 1-1 against the Tribe, and they're looking to, you know, salvage a game out of this 3-game set here and head home for 6. And it would be nice if they could get it. Let's set the defense behind Kennedy tonight. It looks like this. How about that? Merrifield out in left field today, not second base. CAIN is in center field. Fuentes in right. Cuthbert is at third. Escobar at short. Colon gets the start at second tonight. Hosmer is at first. Butera behind the plate.
Ramon DeJesus has the plate tonight. Gary Cederstrom is the crew chief. Eric Cooper, Jim Wolf round out the umpiring crew. And we're just about ready to go. Rajai Davis will lead it off. He is 1 for 6 in the series. Swings at the first pitch and a routine pop-up. The second baseman Colon makes the grab, 1 away. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Do the little things. And for Corey Kluber, set the tone early.
Well, it's been 2 one-run games in this series. The Indians down to 10 and 11 in one-run games. So you figure you don't give in any extra outs. Take advantage of all scoring situations if you can.
Here is Jason Kipnis. He's had a good series, 3 out of 7 with a double and a home run. And between Kipnis and Carlos Santana, they've driven in 10 of the Indians' 29 runs on this road trip. That certainly doesn't seem like a lot, does it?
No, well, it hasn't been, and that's one of the things that, you know, offensively, they only score about 4 runs a game on the road compared to 5 at home, and that makes a big difference.
Kipnis fouling it back. I mentioned at the top of the telecast that not only are the two teams fighting each other tonight, but the weather conditions could be a bit of a factor. 97 degrees, well above normal. The 1-2 and a high pop on the infield. Colon again, the second baseman, has made the first 2 easy catches on the pop-ups. I mean, you think about, had this been a day game, it would have been a lot more difficult.
Well, it would have been hotter. It would have been a lot sunnier looking up into the sun. No question about it. It's been it's very humid, but you know, like Tito said in our pregame show there, these guys would much rather play in this weather than playing in the cold of April, and he's absolutely right. You know, it's like going down to Texas in the summertime. We're going to hit there down in August. It'll be 100 degrees.
Up high, ball 1.
It doesn't take much to get loose.
Now Lindor awaits the 1-0 pitch, and it's in there for a strike. You think about when we have those really brittle cold days in April, it's the pitcher who has maybe the advantage because he's staying warm.
Right.
On these days, it's the opposite. He can overheat quicker than anybody else.
That's true. That's why you want to keep him out there and maybe have a long inning early if possible.
Lindor has swung the bat well against these Royals. And for that matter, just about everybody else as well. The 2-1. Caught the corner, evens it up.
So far, it's basically fastball changeup here for Kennedy. And he's normally pretty good the first 2 times through the lineup. He struggles when he gets the 3rd time through.
Upstairs and a little bit away, perhaps. Full count.
But there you'll see 216, 210, even better the second time through. But that 3rd time through, it's up over 300. I'd like to get him earlier than that, though.
Outside, ball 4. 2-out walk for Lindor, keeps the inning alive and gives Mike Napoli a chance. Napoli hitless in the series. And this has been a tough team for him if you look at his career numbers against Kansas City. Just a .217 overall average, but he has hit 13 homers and 207 career at-bats. And a strike called. Boom. Fastball nails the outside corner, and it is quickly 0-2.
Take a peek on our Nissan pitch tracker. Fastball has a little comeback to it right on the outside edge. Good pitch. Napoli in a hole now.
Runner goes, and Kennedy's 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. The inning is over. No runs, no hits, one man left. The Royals are coming to bat. Off for Kansas City, the rookie sensation has already hit 2 home runs in the series. Alcides Escobar bats second. That man Eric Hosmer will hit third. Lorenzo Cain, Sal Perez, Chesler Cuthbert in the middle. Ray Fuentes, Christian Colon, and Drew Butera will bat ninth because Sal Perez is DHing.
And the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher, Corey Kluber, 14th start this year, and he's won 4 out of his last 5 starts. Coming off a complete game out in L.A. 9 innings, just 3 hits, a couple of runs, pitched beautifully, 114 pitches, 73 strikes in that start. Start before that was Kansas City, where he went 6 innings, but then, you know, you had the rain delay, 3 hours, 10 minutes, so he couldn't go any longer than that, or he would have had maybe back-to-back complete games.
Kluber's first pitch outside, ball 1. (2-0).
With the emergence of this guy here who's playing left field tonight, Omar Infante was designated for assignment here, and a guy that is signed through next year.
Bullseye with a fastball, 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. Merrifield has done a terrific job. It's out of play on the right side. Line drive, center field off the end of the bat, a base hit.
Well, this guy finds a way to get the barrel of the bat to the baseball. And he has in this series. He's going to get it. It looks like it a little bit off the end. It was elevated a little bit. And that ball gets away, and he's reaching away for that pitch. So base hit.
And up comes Alcides Escobar. Escobar with a hit in 5 of his last 6 games. And Kluber gets a swing and a miss for strike 1. Bunt. Martinez flies in from third and easily throws him out. 1 down. Nice play by Michael Martinez.
Well, let's check out the Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep, behind Kluber this evening. It's going to be Davis in left, Naquin in center, Chisenhall in right, Martinez and Lindor on the left side, Kipnis and Napoli on the right, with Yan Gomes doing the catching.
Hosmer with a rocket shot, and the Royals will take the lead. Merrifield cruises home. Hosmer in the second with an RBI double. 1-0 Kansas City.
Well, and that's what they were looking for when they bunted him over. They were looking to get on the board first, and the aggressiveness. Hosmer gets a fastball out over the plate, and he drives it into the gap in right center field. It'll be his 13th double, his 39th RBI. And Kansas City on the board will play from in front. They lead at 1-0.
Up comes Lorenzo Cain. Cain hitless in the series, 0 for 8. Cut fastball off the outside corner. Out of play the other way. Kansas City, a lot like Cleveland, when they score first, they're very good. 27-7 on the year. And of course, we know they're very good, period, when they're playing at home. Going for their 8th straight win here at Kauffman Stadium.
And 11 out of their last 12.
I'm sorry, their 9th straight is what they're looking for. They've won 8 in a row at home. The 1-2 shoots it out of play.
Yeah, you look at them, they've only played 29 home games. And they're in a stretch. 12 of 14 games will be right here. Kicked off by this 3-game series. They'll make a 2-game trek to New York and play the Mets and then come right back. But they feel very good about themselves when they're in this ballpark. You look at them on the road, man, and I got to tell you, different team, 13-23.
Almost got Perez in the on-deck circle. I don't know how he got out of the way. It was going right at him. And now Perez glares out at Lorenzo Cain. What are you trying to do, man?
Well, when you see hitters that keep inching over and they want to get closer to that plate, that's one reason why you don't want to.
Hammered to left. 2-0 Kansas City. Back-to-back RBI doubles by Hosmer and CAIN. Right up until this moment, the Indians had kept those two in check.
Well, let's see. Corey's been missing a lot in the middle of the plate in this first inning. When you look at the hits, pitches have been up, and they've been too much on the plate, and they have taken advantage of them now with the back-to-back doubles. So it's a 2-run first inning. It's still just 1 out. They're trading places out there at second base.
Salvador Perez pops one up back out of play. Well, the Royals big man, their leader, has had a terrific series, going 5 for 8. And over his last 15 games, adding a .421 average.
Yeah, he's been on fire. I haven't seen any of our pitchers pitch him inside yet, though. Everything seems to be away to this guy in the series. There you go.
That time.
You know, everything seems to be away in this series to him. You know, he had an 0-2 base hit, break a ball down and away. That pitch was inside, but everything seems to be upstairs right now for Kluber.
Wow, that looked like it missed, but it was right down the middle of the plate.
That's a strike. I know watch where Gomes is sitting away, but you know what? What is wrong with that? That's a strike. Sorry to say.
Don't be sorry. The 1-2. Swung out and missed, took a little something off, strikes him out, 2 down. Tonight's Kia in the driver's seat. Kansas City at .750 winning percentage when playing at home. Chesler Cuthbert 2 for 5 in the series. With 2 down and a runner in scoring position, he digs in. And Kluber misses low and away, ball 1.
I agree with what you said. It was either yesterday or game 1. I think the last couple of years in the postseason has really helped this team, and they believe that you can't beat them in their own ballpark. And when you get the crowds that they're getting now, the crowd believes it as well.
Well, even Ned Yost after the game last night, he said, I just had a feeling Sal Perez was going to have a big at bat. I thought he was going to do something special there. And he ends up hitting the 2-run homer. That ultimately wins the game. That's the kind of belief, though, that they have, because they've done it so many times now in meaningful games. And while this is only June 15th, these are meaningful games. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of the same old rhetoric. Both teams have said, hey, you know what, these are important. These are big. We got to win these games.
Well, the Indians took care of home field because Kansas City came to Cleveland the first 2 times. Kansas City's returning the favor here.
Lindor will throw out Cuthbert, but Kansas City takes a 2-0 lead on back-to-back RBI doubles by Hosmer and CAIN. After 1, it's 2-0 Kansas City. Santana has just one hit in the series. That one hit was a home run, though. That solo shot for Santana last night in the third inning gave the Indians the early lead, and ultimately a rare loss when the Indians score first. And he popped him up foul ground. Hosmer is there, and an easy out, one down. In tonight's game, we're participating once again in the Home Run Challenge to benefit prostate cancer research. So far, after 2 days this week, nearly $360,000 has been raised. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Lonnie Chisenhall. 3 out of 6 in the series. Foul right back. On the road trip, Lonnie has gone 7 for 24 at the plate. Couple of walks. He's driven in 2 runs. Back into the seats it goes. 1-2. The count remains on Chisenhall. Pulls that foul. The Indians will return home for an off day tomorrow. And then over the weekend, it will be the Chicago White Sox, followed by Tampa Bay next week. Now 1-2. Another foul right back.
Yeah, this is the 20th straight day that the Indians have played a ball game since their last off day. So definitely a needed off day. Home for 6 and then back out for 10 more.
Lonnie with a line drive, base hit in the left field. 1 out single here in inning number 2. His 4th hit in this 3-game series.
I mean, that makes him now 5 for 7 off Kennedy in his career. So anything he throws up there, you see, I don't know if that was the changeup or something, but he just stayed on and kept his hands back and served it the other way. So gets the Indians' first hit.
Like our game tonight, first place in the American League East is on the line tonight between Baltimore and Boston. Orioles began the day with a 1-game lead over the Red Sox, just as the Indians started the day 1 game in front of Kansas City. But early on, that game, a bit of a runaway. Now, we've seen that those scores sometimes don't always hold up.
Not with Boston and Baltimore.
Yeah. Ground ball to third. Cuthbert to second for 1. Another double play.
Live with MLB.com @bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcast, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download the MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Corey Kluber goes to work here in inning number 2. Bottom third of the Royals order due up. And a weak ground ball hit to second. Kipnis pulled him off the bag, and he's safe at first.
Well, Kipnis coming in on the move, couldn't make an accurate throw there, and it pulls Napoli off the bag. Check it out. It's just a little two-seam fastball, gets by Kluber. In comes Kipnis. Easy play, but the throw, you see, goes down underneath, and it pulled Kipnis off, or pulled Napoli off the base. So that'll be an error on Kipnis.
Don't be so sure.
Well, let me see. It's not Hosmer or CAIN. So yeah, I think it is an error.
Here's Christian Colon, right-handed batter, hitting 8th in the lineup, takes a strike. By the way, Boston battering Baltimore tonight, 6-0. They're in the 5th inning. Hanley Ramirez had a big 3-run homer, part of a 5-run inning in that game for the Red Sox. If Boston wins, they would move into a tie for first in the AL East. No balls, 2 strikes. The AL East, you got 3 teams within 3 games of each other. In the AL Central, 4 teams within 3.5 games of each other at the start of the day. No other division is that tightly packed together. Blowing away. In fact, it's kind of surprising that outside of the AL East and the AL Central, every other division is at least 5.5 games in terms of the gap between first and second place. The 1-2, chopped in the hole. Oh, what a pick by Martinez, but he couldn't come up with it cleanly.
Well, he's trying to rush it there to get a double play there in that situation, and you know, you really just have to get your one. He got over there and made a nice play, but in the transfer, again, there it is, just get it, and he throws it out of his glove and misses the hand.
Second error of the inning.
So back-to-back errors set up the second.
Drew Butera doing the catching tonight and batting out of the number 9 spot, so Indians suspect a bunt.
Well, yeah, 9th place hitter. Why wouldn't you? Or you have 2. You're trying to get more off of Kluber.
Gomes can go to third, but there's nobody there, so he'll have to go to first.
Well, here's a guy that's playing third base for the first time, a start. Now they have bunt plays. Now whether they said you go back and cover third or you charge. Usually if he charges, they have the wheel play on and Lindor. So he's going to second. He's got to get back to cover third. So there's the mistake. They get an out. It's a sacrifice. But they had an opportunity to get the play at third base. And again, we're going back to our keys, little things. So far, Kansas City has been able to execute and the Indians have not.
And now Whit Merrifield, who singled and scored in the first, steps to the plate, 4 for 9 in the series. Well, if you tuned in late, the reason that Michael Martinez is playing third tonight, Juan Uribe still sidelined after being hit with that ground ball in Anaheim. Terry Francona said that they don't want to have to put him on the DL, but he might have to make a decision in the next day or 2 if he can't go.
Nice break there.
And Jose Ramirez just getting a day off after Terry believed he showed signs of just fatigue. He pointed to the fly ball he hit last night. Ball that he just didn't have any legs. It was all arms, and the ball didn't care. He said he hit it, and I thought it was going to go out, but he said You could tell his legs aren't quite under him, so figured he needed a day off. And coupled with the scheduled off day tomorrow, that should give him plenty of rest and ready to go when the Indians return home. Well, we'll see if Corey Kluber can ultimately pick up his defense. He gets a tough out in Merrifield. Now he's got Alcides Escobar. Escobar, an aggressive hitter. And he takes a look at a fastball at the knees outside corner. That cutter just carving the outside edge of the home plate.
Well, right now Kluber trying to pick up his defense, and he has an opportunity to do just that.
Swung on and missed with a high fastball.
He's going to elevate the fastball. You know, you start looking for that slider when you get into situations, and little do you know, that's a great pitch. Give that fastball up above the belt, you're not going to catch up to it.
The 0-2, and he chops it foul, not by much. Boy, if that would have been inside the bag, then you know it's not your night.
Well, it's a lot closer than we thought. You see, it misses by about a foot or two. That was just like an emergency swing to just get a piece of it and not take that pitch, so he didn't get called out, and it almost stayed fair.
Here is the 0-2. That's foul.
Well, he hung one there. Gomes going to take a jog out and talk to him. They wanted away. Look at that one, just stayed right there. So he pulled it foul, so he gets away with an 0-2 pitch.
The 0-2. Threw it by him. Inning over. Kluber gets his second strikeout tonight. And the Royals waste a golden opportunity as the Indians overcome a pair of errors in the second.
District pregame The White Sox will be in town from 5 to 7 in the district. You can enjoy $2 Miller Lite cans. That'll be Dollar Dog Night all evening long. Fireworks after the game. Go to Indians.com and get your tickets. Should be a busy weekend at home this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Tyler Naquin looks at a breaking ball inside, 1-0. Yeah, and that time a fastball challenged him inside corner. Might have even been off the plate a tad. He fouls it right into the mitt of Butera. Naquin just 1 for 8 in the series. Trying to run that one back over the inside corner and just missed. On the road trip, Tyler 4 hits and 23 at bats. Golfs that one foul down the right side. And that was the swing early on the road trip. I remember back in Seattle.
The golf shot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Picked one up off the ground and hit it out.
Yeah, he was hot coming off that homestand. Started out that way on the trip, but has cooled off. The 2-2. And he strikes him out. Kennedy with his second K. 1 down in the 3rd.
You get the 2-seam fastball, runs out away from the plate, off the plate, and he was able to get Tyler to swing at it. So out number 1 here in the 3rd.
Down and in. And Michael Martinez takes a healthy cut, but a foul right back. Oh, great drag bunt. Colon hurries in, bare hand grab and throw, throws it away and into the Royals dugout. Martinez will get second base. That'll be a single and an error as the Indians get a man in scoring position now here in the 3rd inning.
Well, he forced him to come in for the bare hand. It was a nice bunt. It was maybe a tad hard, but by the time Colon got it, he had to make a quick throw. It almost handcuffed Hosmer, and it gets into their dugout. So, you know, I like the aggressiveness. He goes in head first. The throw goes into the dugout, so give him a base hit. And the error on Colon for the throw.
So 1 on 1 out for Rajai Davis, who popped up on the infield his first time up on the only pitch he saw to start the game. And a little low, ball 1. According to the scoreboard, they have ruled that error on Eric Hosmer.
No kidding. It's sort of handcuffed.
They put E3 up on the board. Did he ever get leather on it though?
No, that ball. It was a bad throw.
Who knows?
Yeah, the way they've scored here this series, it doesn't matter what they put up. I'll tell you what, I don't know how it can be his error. The guy's 10, 15 feet away and he just throws it past him. I know it went up there on the glove, but when a guy comes out with a bare hand, you're just looking to find the baseball when you're that close. But it doesn't matter. An error is an error.
Rajai Davis down to the count 1-2. Low And Rajay with a good eye to lay off it. Evens the count at 2-2.
Rajay, pretty good numbers against Kennedy in his career. 5 for 11 now after making out in his first at bat.
Off the end of the bat, that stays foul.
Need a little spark here for offensively. You need to get a hit with a runner in scoring position. Get a little energy in that dugout.
Blowing away. And now the count goes full. So Kennedy may be nibbling a bit here after he had him down in the count. And to Rajay's credit, he's not helping him out up till now.
Well, the first time through, 2 for 8 off Kennedy. Now we're going through the second time where normally he's a little bit better than the first.
Now time as Butera goes out for a check.
You know, when Butera was catching back in Cleveland, because that's when Perez was hurt, he was doing a lot of the catching.
Right.
We saw him go out there a number of times with the starters. You know, so I don't know if he's on the same page where they're used to throwing to Perez, and he goes down there and he's. I mean, I'm sure they go over and have their scouting reports before they pitch, but it seems like he has a tougher time getting the starters in rhythm.
Hit him. And Rajay on a 3-2 pitch will take his base.
That get him on the elbow?
It was definitely bearing in on him.
And then that it hurt like something hit the bat. Watch the
Oh, he's got that padding.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what the sound of it was. That sounded like it hit the bat.
It did sound like it hit the bat. I think it probably caught the elbow first, and then maybe it did get the knob of the bat.
Well, he's on first base, so they have runners at first and second now with 1 out. It's a tough way to get your base. You'd rather have ball 4.
Down to Andre.
270 right now. And talking to Terry Francona, he likes where he's at right now. He says he hasn't had that big moment yet. He hasn't had that month where he's carried him, but he likes it. He's getting around on the fastball a little bit better. He's had only 1 less home run than he had all last season last year. And Tito thinks there's still a big month where he'll carry them for a couple weeks in Jason Kipnis' bat.
Now Jason came in batting .298 in the month of June. The 0-1 popped him up. Two on, 1 out. We're in the third. Indians down 2-0. Chased one up high and strikes out. 2 down.
Elevated heater. Just kept going upstairs, and you get the swing and miss. So that'll be his third strikeout.
And Francisco Lindor steps in, and before he does, Butera wants to go out for a chat. Lindor walked with 2 outs and nobody on base in the first inning. Last night is 162nd career game in the big leagues, so that equals a full season of major league action. Out of play. Since Major League Baseball expanded to a 162-game schedule, no Indians player, not even you, my friend, has amassed as many hits as Lindor in his first 162 games.
Well, I'd like to see him get a hit right here. Make it 199. Or start his second season off on the right foot. How about that?
All right. Back out of play. Popped him up right at the plate. In at third, Cuthbert makes the grab. Another opportunity goes by the boards. 2 left for Cleveland. Middle of the third, 2-0 Kansas City. Just a reminder, if you enjoy a cold one, stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Eric Hosmer, Lorenzo Cain, and Sal Perez for the Royals here in inning number 3. Kansas City on top 2-0. Hosmer, an RBI triple and a run scored in the first inning. Takes low ball 1. Tied him up. Good pitch. 2-1. When you're down 2-0 to a guy like Hosmer, you don't want to miss out over the plate where he's got a chance to take a healthy cut.
Well, he tied him up with a cutter inside. He saw his first at bat. He jumped on something away, that fastball that he drives into the gap in right center field. So yeah, that was a good pitch.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Strikes him out. Number 3 for Kluber, 1 away here in the 3rd inning. Our stat of the game tonight is brought to you by Buick. Indians starters so far in the month of June have an overall record of 6-3 and an ERA of just 2.83.
Yeah, the starters have been fine.
11 out of 14, they've gone 6 or more. A little bit low to Lorenzo Cain, who doubled in a run in the 1st. Low and away. And Corey Kluber drops one in there to even the count at 2-2.
Getting the feel for that slider now that's coming around.
Checked, it was
low tracer down there.
Man.
Fastball down. Might have been a little low, but it's a good one. I mean, as a hitter, you can't hit it.
Yeah.
But you know, you take that and he's saying, yep, that's right. He's agreeing with the umpire.
Now the payoff. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the crew chief Gary Cederstrom. 2-0.
Yeah, Cain knew it as well.
That's 3 in a row for Kluber.
You lay off that fastball down and away, and then you see that breaking ball, and you can't hold up. That's our Circle K strikeout. You see it, and you're saying that's the same pitch, so you just try to foul it off, but it's got the movement to it. So that's career strikeout number 800 for Kluber. He gets on rolls, doesn't he, when he starts getting command of the pitch is the fastball, and boy, he settles in, and you see a lot of swings and misses and just perfect pitches.
And I'm not sure what Perez was trying to do with that ball, but he was late, and that ball was practically in the glove of Gomes by the time he cut loose on it. I suppose sometimes, you know, hitters they're I don't know if it's that they're looking for the cutter, which is consistently around 90, and
80,
all of a sudden he throws a
90.
four-seamer and whoop, it's got a little extra on it.
Well, and then you try to be aggressive off Kluber early in the count because he throws so many strike ones. And this guy, he's hitting everything in sight, and he's always been aggressive.
Good idea to see if he'd go up the ladder and chase.
Try and bounce one here too.
He got a piece of it somehow and nailed himself on the foul ricochet.
Yeah, he's going to take a stroll. I don't know where it got him, but it hurt.
Not in a good place, I can tell you that. We've seen too many of those already on this road trip.
Yeah, that was a foul ball off the plate.
Perez might be the first guy we've seen take a shot there and be okay. The 1-2. High pop. Shallow left center. Lindor going out. Now he's called off. Naquin is there and makes the grab. Corey Kluber strikes out the first 2 here in the 3rd. And after 3 innings, it's still KC 2, Cleveland nothing. icy or a slush.
Yes, anything cold.
You call it. 97 at game time. It was over 100 here today in Kansas City. Mike Napoli leading off the fourth, struck out his only time up.
Well, the Indians, when they got off to that good start and played so well in their division, you know, they have a plus 46 run differential against the Central Division. They did a lot of that, averaging 5 runs per game. Well, in this game, in this series, they've only scored 3 runs, having a tough time scoring. A couple of 1-run ball games, and a lot of their damage has been at home during this as well.
That certainly did not appear to be a strike, but it was called that way.
Well, I think Napoli let him know it as well. That was about the same spot as the ball to Lorenzo Cain.
Now Napoli rung up, and he'll let Ramon de Jesus know he's not real appreciative of his strike zone.
Well, take a look at this pitch. That one, now I can see that one being a strike on the outside edge. The pitch before that was not a strike.
One out for Carlos Santana, who fouled out his only time up. And a breaking ball low. I realize that at the end of the day, an out is an out, and it doesn't matter. But we're into the 4th inning, and the Indians haven't even hit a ball hard yet in this game. We're halfway through the 2nd time around in the order. And Ian Kennedy is just kind of mowing them down and cruising right along.
Well, Chisenhall served one to left for the first hit. Martinez got a bunt base hit on the infield for the second, and reached second on the error.
And the outs have been pop-ups or strikeouts.
Yeah, right.
With 1 ground ball double play. There's a smash, but right at the outfielder, or I should say second baseman Colon, playing in the outfield with that shift on. 2 down. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Matt Cain down for the Giants with a right hamstring injury. San Francisco with a 6-game lead in the NL West when the day began. And I didn't see the final, but I know Johnny Cueto was rolling. Oh my goodness, they won 10-1 over Milwaukee today. So that's 5 straight for the Giants, who are now 41-26. And depending on what the Dodgers do, their lead could be 7 games.
They won today. Kershaw
so
was the starter in that
stays
game.
At 6 for San Fran. Lonnie Chisenhall looks at a breaking ball a bit low. 2-0. On it right back. Another foul back, and it's even up at 2-2. That time Ian Kennedy thought he had strike 3. He was headed for the dugout. And he didn't get the call. Full count.
The It's down. It's away. You want it, you're not going to get it.
Lonnie sends a high pop to right. In comes Fuentes. And Cleveland goes 1-2-3. Middle of the fourth, 2-0 Kansas City. Of baseball, the young pitcher for Pittsburgh, Jameson Taillon, had his first big league win. He went 8 innings, gave up just 2 hits. Shut out baseball to 4-0 win over the Mets.
He had a no-hitter going for 6 innings in that game.
Chesler Cuthbert grounded out his only time up. He'll lead off the bottom of the fourth for Kansas City. A little bit low, ball 1. A little bit high. Kluber challenged him with a 2-0 fastball, and Cuthbert almost went down swinging at it. Nice breaking ball. Backed it up over the inside edge. Cuthbert could do nothing but watch it dance tantalizingly over the inside corner. Now the count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, young hitters in this league, if they've never faced Kluber a lot, not too many times you see a slider that good.
Swung out and missed. He got him to expand his strike zone, and that's strikeout number 5 for Corey Kluber.
Well, let's take a look at the strikeouts for Kluber this evening. There's a breaking ball right there to Perez. Nice high fastball to Escobar. Good little cutter away. Another one. CAIN couldn't hold up on a full count, and there's another cutter. So 5 strikeouts for Kluber, no walks. But they were able to clip him in the first inning for a pair of runs. A couple of doubles back-to-back, Hosmer and CAIN. And that's the story of the game, 2-0.
showing bunt, but pulling it back and taking a strike is Ray Fuentes. Two balls and a strike. Fuentes 2 for 5 overall in the series after reaching on that error in the second inning. That looked like a good changeup. He hasn't thrown a ton of those. But against the left-handed hitter, this is a devastating pitch.
Yes, and he's thrown a lot more of them this year, and that thing had a little movement to it and a great location down and away. So it gets the swing and miss.
And a high heater puts him away. And all of a sudden, Kluber has struck out 6 Kansas City Royals. And 5 of the 6 strikeouts have come over the last 6 batters. So he is locked in right now.
Well, you can grab a Jason Kipnis replica, a road great jersey. That'll be courtesy of KeyBank on Saturday, as the Tribe will host the Chicago White Sox, plus post-game fireworks. You can go to Indians.com and get your tickets.
Christian Colon takes low ball 1. Thought you said road rage there for a second. Swung out and missed. He chased Kluber in vintage form right here, where he's working the edges. What Corey told me back in spring training is sometimes as a pitcher you find yourself in that zone that we talk about, in that groove. But he said it might not be for a game, it might be for an inning, it might be for a few batters, but boy, he said when you're there, it's a fun place. Kipnis fields it cleanly, throws him out, and the Royals go quickly through 4. It's Kansas City 2, Cleveland nothing, while Corey Kluber has struck out 6. Indians baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. By your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. And by the Cleveland Clinic. Access anytime, anywhere. Fifth inning. And Yan Gomes to lead off for the Indians. He'll be followed by Tyler Naquin and then Michael Martinez. In the air, right center field. Fuentes moving over, and the right fielder has it. 1 away. Tomorrow, the Copa America quarterfinals begin as Clint Dempsey and the U.S. men's national team put their championship dreams on the line for a spot in the semis. It's win or go home tomorrow at 8 Eastern on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Get me over curveball for strike one.
And a foul tip.
You see, on this trip, the team started to pitch him inside a lot more, you know, trying to stay inside, not let him extend the arms.
And just elevating it enough.
Yeah, elevated. And then they power him with something upstairs. So the second straight time tonight that Kennedy has been able to throw the fastball by Naquin.
Well, he has 5 strikeouts. And the Indians just haven't barreled anything up against him.
No, they've either popped it up or he's been able to strike him out on 5 strikeouts. So that's pretty much it. The fastball up, and he's just changing speeds, keeping him off balance. This will be the second time through the lineup. Now they'll keep their eye on him because, you know, batting average up over 300 for that third time through, but they certainly know that in that Kansas City bullpen, and in the dugout. The Kansas City bullpen is going to be well rested tonight.
He's retired 7 in a row, and he just looks like a man on a mission right now.
Well, you know, their starters have pitched very well in their streak and their winning streak. They've given them some quality outings, and that's exactly what they needed. And they're starting to feed off each other.
High pop, looks like it's playable. Cuthbert, foul ground. No, can't come up with it.
He could have wrapped around. Yes, he did. He could have wrapped around if he took his eye off it. That was up there for a while. Now, I don't know if it's tough to pick up the baseball in the sky right now, but he got caught right at the corner. Right at the corner. You see, he took a peek, but he didn't realize there it is. He would have been able to go around that and possibly make the catch if he would have got over there a little bit earlier. But like I said, don't know if it's tough to pick up in the sky right now.
And a topper over the bag fair. Close play at first, and Martinez beats it out. Great hustle by Michael Martinez. And the Indians have a 2-out base runner here.
Well, that's Kennedy's fault for not getting over there, because Hosmer was playing deep. He gets 2 hits. He's got 2 hits and hasn't hit the ball out of the infield. A bunt. Watch Kennedy. He jumped up and he was very late getting there. He wasn't going to beat Martinez. So the slide, he goes head first the first time on the bunt. This time he goes feet first, and watch, he'll beat the glove and the tag by Hosmer, because then he beat it by plenty, because Kennedy didn't get over there.
Well, and Hosmer, the way he dove for the bag, he actually slowed himself down because he dove and he landed with his glove shy of the bag, and he couldn't really get there. Granted, when you see a guy coming straight at you, you don't really maybe want to dive right into him either. But we'll see if the Indians take advantage now with 2 outs in the inning. Rajai Davis 0 for 1.
Well, he usually, after he follows through, watch him jump up a little bit. And he's watching. He's a bystander. He didn't get over there, and he knows it right now. Nobody has to tell him. He could have been out of the inning if he gets over to first base. So nobody's fault but your own.
And a strike called. low breaking ball, but it's outside. And the count is 1-1. And a foul right back. There's a long drive, deep left field. Merrifield back looking up. Bang! It's a home run for Rajai Davis. A 2-run shot, and we are back to even at 2 apiece. Rajai with his 7th home run of the year. RBIs number 25 and 26.
Well, that's it now. How does he feel for not covering first base? Davis comes back, who has good numbers. He was 5 for 10 coming into the night, and he's able to tie this ball game up. Looked like a changeup down. Speeds up his bat, and he hit a line drive to left field. We got a new ball game with 1 swing of the bat. How about that with 2 outs?
That ball was hammered. Well, you just mentioned about 4 minutes ago about that 3rd time through the order, how the numbers jump up.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know, the leadoff guy, being Davis, facing him for the 3rd time tonight, and he hits the home run.
Boy, that's exactly what that dugout needed. Boy, was just a quick jolt. Give him a little energy.
And Kansas City's taking advantage of some Indians' mistakes here in this inning. It's Cleveland taking advantage of a mental miscue by Ian Kennedy himself.
Yeah, he's got nobody to blame but himself. That's the 7th home run for Rajai. Boy, and it comes at the right time.
Now the 1-2. And a smack foul out of play left side. Got to make Corey Kluber feel a little better about things. He's been pitching extremely well since the Royals got to him with a couple of runs in the 1st inning. That's hit hard. Deep right. Fuentes back on the track and pulls it down. No, he drops the ball. And Kipnis into second base on what will surely be a 2-base error with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Well, he just misplayed
right
that ball.
glove.
Yeah, that's bad. He just misplayed it. It started to come down, and he looked like he was there in plenty of time. You knew it wasn't going to get out, but you see, he runs over there, and it's almost like he overruns it. And now he stops, and now it comes back, and it's right there. Oops. Yeah, there's nothing you can do there. So that'll be the 2nd error now for the Royals as well. See if the Indians can take advantage of that.
Francisco Lindor walked in the 1st. He popped up in the 5th inning with 2 on and 2 out, and you could audibly hear him groan at the plate when he sent one sky high over toward the 3rd base side. Lindor down on the count, 0-2. Indians have now out-hit Kansas City 4-3 in the ball game. And a chance to take the lead. And Lindor can get one to drop here. It's in the gap, but it's going to be caught this time by Merrifield, and the inning is over. Well, Rajay Davis, bang, a 2-out, 2-run homer, and the Indians have tied the game. All right, thanks, Al. Right now, the Indians and Royals tied at 2, and Drew Butera leading off this home half of the 5th inning. Laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. And a pitch outside, 1-1. Like his counterpart, Corey Kluber, after facing Butera, will be going through the Royals lineup for the 3rd time tonight. And Butera cuts and misses down in the count, 1-2. In the air, right center, charging in is Naquin, and neither one of them can get there, and the ball gets by. Butera will stop at second, so they catch a bit of a break there, because a speedier runner would have been on third base.
Yeah, they're lucky. They're lucky right there.
You know, Terry Francona was talking about not this exact play, because this is a tough one. It's in between the outfielders. But you go back to last night on that ball that fell in center field, and Terry Francona was explaining that for Tyler Naquin, if he's going to call for the ball, he's got to be able to make the catch. That one is a little bit of a different play because,
well, neither of them could call for the ball. And I think what happened there is it looked like Chisenhall saw Naquin coming into play. You can't dive for that ball when you see the center fielder coming in. This is, again, you play deeper in this field is when you get burned. They want them to play deeper, but to me, they're going to have to hit it over your head once. This is Butera, the 9th place hitter. You can't play that deep.
Line drive caught by Napoli. Nice play at first. And that is out number 1. That gets over his head. The Royals are off and running.
Well, let's see if Kluber can pick up his defense again. It's a little breaking ball away, and Napoli was playing in and timed his jump beautifully to make the catch and keep Butera at second. And when I say that, I'm just not talking about Naquin. I'm talking about Chisenhall, too, in right field, playing deep. When you have a right-handed hitter, Butera, that doesn't drive the ball. There's no reason. This field, this ballpark is too big. He's not going to drive it over your head. You got to come in a few steps.
Alcides Escobar fouls one right back. Low and away. It's downstairs again. Weekly hit to second. Kipnis just has to wait for Napoli to get to the bag. He's there in plenty of time, and there are 2 away. Butera moves over to third. And Eric Hosmer will be the batter. This will be an interesting decision here as Mickey Callaway is going to go out to the mound and talk the strategy over.
Well, Kluber tonight, that cutter started coming into play very well. You know, he got into a rhythm. After that first inning, he was missing up and he was missing on the plate a little too much, but settled in and he found his breaking ball. He ended up, the fastball's there now. And this is a good conversation right here, because this is the one guy I would not, you know, I would not pitch to him. Let him go out and make his perfect pitches. And if you walk him, then you deal with CAIN. I think you'd have a better chance righty against righty.
Now Eric Hosmer about to step into the box. Still haven't seen Lorenzo Cain appear in the on-deck circle yet. Now he comes out of the dugout ready.
Yeah, this is the guy to me that is more dangerous in this situation with 2 outs. And watch out early, because he'll look for that first pitch and try and jump you.
He was swinging, but he fouls it back.
That was a pretty good cutter inside.
Another big crowd here at Kauffman Stadium. This appears to be the biggest of the 3 nights. And a pop back out of play. Missed inside.
Like that pitch.
Bounced in, gets away. Here comes the go-ahead run, and the Royals take the lead.
Well, that's a tough one right there. He throws that one and spikes it in there. And you know what, when you call it, and I'm sure Gomes was waiting for it, you anticipated being down there, but that one was so far out in front of the plate, a really tough one for him to handle. And the catcher able to come in and score on the wild pitch, his 4th of the year, and they answer the Indians after they tied it up on a wild pitch.
Smash to third. Nice stop by Michael Martinez. Napoli can't dig it out. And the Royals keep the inning alive. Boy, that was a great stop by Martinez on an absolute rocket to third. But his throw is a little offline in the dirt.
Yeah, he needed a little help on the backside from Napoli to pick it, and he just couldn't pick it cleanly. A little short hop there as he's going. He had to stretch to his right. It was offline. Hosmer went in and almost caught it. You see, he didn't come up with it.
Now, see, here's another example of where I wonder what this official score is.
That's going to be a hit.
It's ruled a hit, but we've been told that even if a guy makes a great play, if he gets to his feet and can set and make a good throw and get him out, it's supposed to be reported as an error.
Bob Mabry tells us that, the official score back in Cleveland. He had the opportunity. He made a beautiful catch. Had time.
They're not all reading from the same manual. This is blooped. This is going to drop. Hosmer to third. He'll stop there. And the Royals keep the pressure on.
Well, just a broken bat. Down, away, and you can hear the bat shatter right off the end. Nothing you can do to defend that one. It bloops in, so they keep it going with 2 outs. Right now, Corey trying to minimize the damage.
Salvador Perez 0 for 2 on the night will be the batter. Up and in, ball 1. Foul off of his leg. Two on, 2 out, and a 1-1 pitch to center. Naquin back on the track. Goodbye. For the second night in a row, Salvador Perez has hit a big home run for the Royals. This one a 2-out, 3-run shot. A 4-run fifth for Kansas City, and they lead it 6-2.
Yeah, all this coming after the wild pitch. There's just a fastball out over the plate, and I would be willing to bet if you look at all the hits that Perez has in this series, the pitches are basically right out in that same location. And he took that one to straightaway center, his 11th home run, and it's a 4-run inning for the Royals. Kansas City coming into this ballgame last in the league in runs scored. They had 241 coming in. They have 6. They were last in the league in home runs. They have 58. They had a string in this series before Perez's 2-run homer last night, 11 consecutive solo shots. Well, he ended that last night with the 2-run home run, and he adds to it today with a 3-run homer.
Now the 3-1. And a low pitch, ball 4. I mentioned it either last inning or the inning before that you can get on these rolls as a pitcher where you feel like you're quote unquote in that zone. And it may last a hitter, it may last a couple batters, maybe a few innings. But it does tend to come and go. And for Corey Kluber, he was flying along. He had retired 8 straight coming into this inning.
And what happened to the leadoff hitter? A bloop base hit that I think should have been caught is where they got the start.
And he had 2 outs, a wild pitch.
He had 2 outs, and then the wild pitch scores it.
Another play that should have been made that wasn't defensively. That's going to drop foul. Now, granted, hey, errors are part of the game. You're not going to play perfect all the time.
They haven't played well in this series.
No.
They have not played well. They've given a lot. And they come back to just tie the score. I mean, they had the energy. They tried to take that momentum back, and it's a shutdown inning for Kluber. It should be. And he comes up, and now the next thing you look, they have a 4-run lead.
Out of play, 0-2.
You know, the most important inning as a starter is when your offense can get you on the board. Your job is to go out and have a shutdown inning. And this year in shutdown innings for Corey coming into this inning was a 7.20 ERA in shutdown innings, and it's going to go up with the 4 they have right now.
Fuentes down on strikes, but Kansas City with a 4 spot in the 5th. Salvador Perez with a 3-run smash makes it 6-2 Kansas City.
And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Francona. You can visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Mike Napoli, with the Indians down 4, takes a strike. quickly 0-2. Way outside. There's a hard hit ball, right center field. Lorenzo Cain runs it down. My goodness.
Well, you need a guy that can cover ground when you're playing in this ballpark. You see he's starting in the left field side, and he just makes it look easy. Long strides, gets there in plenty of time, but right in stride to make the first out.
Two away. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Tribe down 2-0, and when Rajay Davis hit a 2-run homer with 2 outs in the 5th inning to tie it up. And then you may have just seen Kansas City with a wild pitch scored the go-ahead run, and then PEREZ with a 3-run shot made it a 4-run inning. Lonnie with a base hit in the 2nd inning, fly to right his last time up. Fouled back. Would not chase the high heater. And the 2-2 is lifted in the air to left center. Merrifield calls for it. And the Indians promptly are retired in order. It's a 6-2 Kansas City lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. Christian Colon, Drew Butera, and Whit Merrifield due for the Royals. Indians have double barrel action in the bullpen as Kluber goes to work on Colon. And a line drive, base hit right field. Drew Butera doubled and scored. And that crazy 5th inning on a ball that was hit between Naquin and Chisenhall in right center. Outside corner, it's a called strike.
Yeah, they can be aggressive now.
Base hit right field. Colon will go to 3rd. And the Royals are off and running here in the 6th.
Yeah, you get yourself the base runner. You have a 4-run lead. You're late in the ball game. You're down at the bottom part of the lineup. Why not get aggressive? Start the runner. It's a nice job. Butera just hitting the ball on the ground, but finding the hole because Kipnis vacates. He wouldn't have been able to get anywhere anyway, but it's a perfect hit and run. They have runners at the corners, and I think Kluber's night is going to be over.
Corey Kluber exits. And a Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. Right-hander Dan Otero will be coming on with the Indians down 6-2 in the 6th. We'll have to watch the rest of this one. With the Indians already down 6-2 and Kansas City looking to blow it open with 2 on, nobody out. Dan Otero on for the 23rd time this year. He's got the top of the order to deal with. And it's low, ball 1.
Otero, the ground ball specialist. He'd love to get the ground ball, get a ground ball double play.
Instead, a base hit to right field. Merrifield drives home Christian Colon. 7-2 Kansas City.
A pretty good approach by that kid there on that ball inside. He just pushed it the other way. He didn't try and do too much or pull it. Watch him. He lets that ball track deep and goes inside the baseball and just flares it. Didn't hit it hard, but hit it in the right spot. So gets the runner home from third base. So it's 3 straight singles here in the 6th, and it's a 7-2 ball game.
Base hit to left field. The carousel continues to turn. They're loaded up with nobody out. 4 straight hits to open the inning, all 4 singles.
Well, now, yeah, they're relaxed, they're loose. You know, after playing a couple of 1-run ball games, Otero comes in and faces 2 hitters, and that's it. He will be done.
Now we're going to get Tom Gorzelani to go left on left against Eric Hosmer. Another timeout. Bases loaded with nobody gone here in the 6th. Club 10 a.m. on FS1. It continues through the final round Sunday on Fox. You can watch the whole thing on Fox Sports Go. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Eric Hosmer, the batter. Tom Gorzelani coming on for the Indians. Just his 4th appearance in an Indians uniform. And not an enviable situation. Hosmer's already 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Indians forced to bring the infield in. Outfield still deep. So now any kind of bloop will drop. And Hosmer with a smash off the leg of Kitten as Lindor grabs it, throws the first, got him there. 1 down, but another run scores for Kansas City.
Well, you come in, that's the price you have to pay sometimes. That ball, boy, it was a rocket. And it looked like it went off the side of Kipnis's leg. And then Lindor ends up picking it up. He smoked it. I mean, that's a 1-hop shot. It stayed on the infield. Lindor was aware enough to go get that ball. You get the out at first base, but Hosmer will get an RBI.
Does Kipnis get an assist on that?
What's that? Oh, I don't know, but I guarantee that leg's throbbing.
They're going to intentionally walk Cain to load him up again. So they're reloaded, and Salvador Perez will be the batter, and we'll get another pitching change. Timeout in Kansas City. Jeff Manship will be next. '23rd appearance on the year. He's walked 9 and struck out 10 in his 19 innings of work and allowed 19 hits. So quite a bit of traffic. And that's what you can't have here because there's nowhere to put anybody. With the bases loaded and 1 out in the inning, he's already down 8-2.
Well, here's the guy that came and hit a fastball away off clue, but a straightaway center. And that blew this game wide open. 3-run homer. That was a 4-run inning in the 5th, and they've already have 2 on the board. The base is still loaded and just 1 out here, so he has an opportunity to have another big night. This guy has been on fire.
He's the leading vote getter for the All-Star game, and starting to show why.
Manship would gladly take a ground ball double play and get out of this inning.
One ball, 1 strike. Foul. Hit it hard, but way out in front of it. Perez has 6 hits in the series and 25 hits in his last 16 games. Good pitch by Manship, 2 down.
Well, came in and executed a slider in a very good location. Gets the swing and miss. So gets the big tough out here, not allowing him to score anymore, and he's got 1 more to go.
And Chesler Cuthbert 0 for 2 with a walk. Another good stop by Gomes. 2-0. Manship trying to take advantage of perhaps an eagerly and overly aggressive hitter, but Cuthbert, he's sitting back saying, you got to come to me. And especially now with a 2-0 count. Did he go? Yes, he did. Gary Cederstrom, not the most popular guy in the house at this moment. It's 2-1.
Well, take a look at it from the side. What do you think?
There you go.
Yeah, good call.
And I'm surprised Manship stayed with it because he didn't have anywhere to put him. And it was not a strike. Now it's 3-1. But ball 4, another run home for Kansas City. It's now 9-2.
Went with a fastball. Awfully close. So a 3-run inning now. So they have 7 in the last 2 innings.
Out of play.
They sent 9 men to the plate back in the 5th inning, and this is the 9th man again here in the 6th. Or excuse me, 8 men. I'm sorry.
In that 5th
in
inning.
the 5th inning, right.
Kipnis with the flip to Lindor ends the inning. But Kansas City chases Kluber and then tacks on 3 more. Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by Subway, fresh is what we do. (9-2) Royals in front. And for the Indians, Yan Gomes leading off this 7th inning. Rod Dyson now in the ball game in left field. Whit Merrifield goes from left over to right. And a ground ball to short where Alcides Escobar throws him out, 1 away. We're swinging into summer back at Progressive Field. Friday night, the White Sox will be in town. Our coverage begins with Indians Live at 6:30. First pitch at 7 on Sports Time Ohio or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Swing into summer is presented by Miller Lite. Tyler Naquin 0 for 2. Bit outside. That's it tight.
Well, we talked about Kennedy going through the lineup for the 3rd time, and it started out with a bang as Davis hit that 2-run home run to tie the ball game up, but he didn't. Kennedy has not given up a hit since then, and now a walk here.
First base runner for the Indians since Jason Kipnis reached on the error in the 5th inning with 2 outs. And Michael Martinez the batter has 2 hits and a run scored tonight. On a breaking ball, perfectly placed for strike 1. Lays off. It's a little high. Nine runs on 11 hits for Kansas City. 2 runs, just 4 hits for Cleveland. Low and inside. And the count 2-1. Out for a chat goes Drew Butera. Getting some action now in the Kansas City bullpen for the first time tonight as Kennedy surpassed that 100 pitch mark, but there really hasn't been in any trouble tonight. With 2 outs, it was a quick hit and a home run. It accounted for the Indians' only runs.
Hell, and it was his fault.
Base runners, period.
It was his fault because he didn't cover first base on Martinez in that inning when they scored the 2. He had the first 2 men out in the inning. He rolled over on a ball to first base, didn't get to first base, and then Davis followed that with a 2-run homer, and that's it. The Indians have not had a whole lot of offense in this series.
Michael Martinez drives one to deep right center field and gone. Michael Martinez with a jolt into the right center field gap. A 2-run homer, his first of the year. And it gets the Indians a little closer at 9-4. Boy, did he put a good swing on that ball.
That's about as good as he can hit a ball, huh? Check it out on our AT&T high-speed replay. Fastball leaks out over the plate and turns on it. That may be his best bolt. His first home run, give him his 2nd and 3rd RBI of the year. And it is now a 9-4 game.
Well, Dave Island, the pitching coach, out to stall for a little time as Hochevar continues to warm in the KC pen. I don't know where the 30-second clock is. Oh, there it is. It's just about expiring now as Island heads back to the dugout. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back in the 5th, here is the home run by Rajai Davis. That tied the game briefly. Right down Broadway for strike one. Rajai also hit by a pitch tonight. That was back in the 3rd inning. Michael Martinez, by the way, only played 16 games last year with the Indians. 26 the year before with Pittsburgh, 29 the year before that in Philadelphia. So you've got to go all the way back to 2012, the last time he went deep in the big leagues with the Phillies.
Well, he hit one in a legitimate park here.
Down goes Davis, 2 away. Go down to Andre one more time.
You know, I talked to Michael Martinez earlier today about the versatility and just sticking with it, because as you talk about his long career, it's been a lot of bumps and bruises for him. He says when he was Rule 5 and had to go to Washington for Philadelphia, he said that's when he started playing other positions and realized he wasn't going to be the star he thought he was going to be. But he appreciates Tito and he appreciates this ball club for sticking by him. And he says every day he gets here to the big leagues, he's going to take advantage of it, making most of it. He's done that in this trip here with the Indians.
No doubt about it. Ian Kennedy's night is over. Ned Yost will go to the bullpen. He gets a standing O after going 6 2/3 innings. He gave up a pair of 2-run homers, but other than that, the Indians not able to muster much against him offensively here tonight. We've got a pitching change. Luke Hochevar is coming on when we come back. Kipnis, and his first pitch in there for a strike. Kipnis 0 for 3 on the evening, 3 for 10 in the series. Missed inside. Hochevar pitched Friday night in Chicago last time he was in a ball game.
Yeah, pretty good numbers. 198 opponent's batting average. More strikeouts than innings pitched.
His last 15 appearances. Wow. 0.63 ERA, 18 punchouts. And that'll get it done. Seems odd that this is the first time we've seen him in the series.
Yes. You know what? I thought the same thing. He was up one time in the bullpen.
Strikes out Kipnis, inning over. Stretch time in KC. 9-4 Royals. Bottom half of the 7th, and the Indians go back to the bullpen. 5th man to work tonight for the Tribe is Zach McAllister. Last time out in Anaheim, he gave up a run on 2 hits in 1 inning of work.
Yeah, but really struggled in that ball game when it was an 8-2 game on getaway day. So they're going to try and get him back and get throwing the ball well.
There's a ball hit to right field. Back goes Lonnie Chisenhall, and 1 pitch, 1 out. Our great clip of the game. Let's watch some of the fancy defense by Francisco Lindor of late. The old 6-5-3.
Yeah, that came in Cleveland, and then last night flipped it over to Ramirez again. They make another 6-5-3. Both times against Kansas City. Both times very good plays.
Last night, if you joined us later, missed it earlier, last night marked the 162nd game played by Francisco Lindor, marking a full season's worth of games under his belt now at the big league level. Still learning and still driven, I think, to get better. When the team was out in California, he spent a day in Compton at one of the MLB Urban Youth Academies, and the message that he sent to those kids was, look, I was once just like you. I was the small, scrawny kid that everybody overlooked, but if you want it in your heart and you've got the drive and the desire, you can do it. Swing and a miss. Down goes Butera. 2 away in the inning. All right, so through 162 games in the first of their career, here's how Frankie stacks up against Carlos Correa, who won the Rookie of the Year last year. Look at, I mean, better average, more hits, more runs scored, probably less power, but better batting average than Bogarts.
Yeah, well,
Machado.
it looks like it took him. Bogarts, he's off and running now, but it was a few years ago. And Machado, good numbers. So that's pretty impressive.
Back goes Rajai Davis, and it's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Zach McAllister. Don't go away. When we come back for the 8th inning, Francisco Lindor will lead off for Cleveland. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Kansas City with a 9-4 advantage. Going out of the 8th inning, Francisco Lindor 0 for 2 with a walk. And Luke O'Shaver struck out Jason Kipnis, the only batter he's faced to end the 7th. White Sox have gone ahead of the Tigers 4-3. They're in the 8th in Chicago. Hello, 3-0.
Got 2 fastballs away, a breaking ball down and in.
Bullseye, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Luke O'Shaver, former #1 pick. Orioles had high hopes for him as a starter. It just never panned out. They moved him to the bullpen. Really revived his career. Full count. And then he obviously had the unfortunate injury with the elbow, had to miss a year.
Yeah, like so many pitchers, but now they have him back, and it's after that year off, it's just another great arm coming out of that pen.
Struck him out. From 3-0, he came back to get him. 1 down.
Well, KeyBank Kids tickets are just $15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. And the tickets are located in the family deck at Progressive Field, home to our expanded kids clubhouse. They are only available at Indians.com.
Mike Napoli cuts and misses. Napoli booms one high in the air to deep left. Back goes Dyson and pulls it down on the warning track. 2 away. You know, we're talking about Luke Hochevar and coming back from Tommy John surgery. I didn't realize Jabba Chamberlain was telling me that Joe Nathan could be back after the All-Star break to help the Chicago Cubs.
Yes, they did sign him. You remember earlier in the year that he signed there?
I've forgotten about it completely. You know, this is the second time he's had elbow surgery, but he's got a chance to add another. Who knows what he has left? But if he's got anything left, that's another pretty good arm for a team that seems to be an embarrassment of riches right now. Though they did lose today in extra innings to the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals tied it up in the 9th, ended up winning it in I think 12 or 13.
Jason Worth got the walk-off knock to win it for the Nats. Santana with a sky-high rocket to right. Whit Merrifield signals for the fair catch and makes the grab. The Indians go 1-2-3. Game courtesy of Mazda. Do the little things. They've had some breakdowns tonight, and Corey Kluber, he got into a pretty good groove, but boy, the roof just fell in on him in that 5th inning.
Well, Cody Allen going to get some work in tonight. Tomorrow being an off day.
Cody has the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Royals lineup. Bullseye. Escobar with a sac bunt. Has struck out, grounded out, and singled to left tonight. Broke his bat, and it's foul over by the Royal dugout. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back. J.B. Shuck has just tripled in a run for the White Sox. They go to the ninth, up 5-3 on Detroit. Now this game taking the same shape that the game between Boston and Baltimore took earlier. Red Sox used the power of the big inning to beat Baltimore 6-4. So Boston has moved into a tie for first with Baltimore in the American League East. And if this score holds up, the Royals will do the same with the Indians.
Yeah, the Tigers are coming in here tomorrow for a 4-game series.
One away here in the 8th. Yeah, the Indians and Tigers are just, or the Indians and the White Sox are just, no, the Indians and Tigers are changing places. Cleveland will go play Chicago, and the Tigers will come here. And there for a strike. Another little tapper for Cody Allen. Little PFP time here in the 8th inning. Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game. This was a killer. The dagger for the second night in a row, served up by Sal PEREZ.
Yeah, he went to straightaway center for a 3-runner. Had the 2-run home run that hurt the Indians last night. This guy has been on a tear. He's been swinging the bat very well.
And a low strike called on LORENZO CAIN, who has 2 hits tonight, an RBI and a run scored. Swung out and missed. They count 1-2.
Ran that one inside and just a weak swing there.
Well, the Indians won 6 out of the first 7 between these two clubs, but your prophecy is looking more and more on the money, though, because after this, it will be a Indians 6, Royals 4.
Yeah, it'll always
the win category, and they're getting closer to even up.
Well, and we've got to come back here again before they come to Cleveland, because they made their first 2 visits, much like we did to Chicago. We went into Chicago and we won 4 out of 6. Now it's their turn to come to Cleveland.
Swung on and missed. Cody Allen strikes him out. And the Royals go 1-2-3. We head to the 9th. The Indians down 5. All right, gentlemen, we go to the 9th inning, and a new pitcher for Kansas City is right-hander Chen-Ming Wong. He'll face Lonnie Chisenhall, Yan Gomes, and Tyler Naquin, with the Indians down 5. Wong with a fastball strike. Fouled right back. Boy, at one time this guy was a sinker master and put up some great numbers with the New York Yankees.
He sure did, man. You know, and you think about it, it was all in interleague play when he had to run the bases. I think it was in Houston that happened to him. And blew out his ankle, and that was it for him.
Now, before that happened, though, when he was really at the height of his prime, he was a 19-game winner back-to-back seasons in 06 and in 07. But in the 07 playoffs, the Indians absolutely tattooed him. He made 2 starts in that series. He pitched 5 2/3 innings, and the Indians got him for 12 runs on 14 hits.
Ouch.
Hit 3 home runs off of him. But yeah, after that, his career really just kind of disappeared. He had 8 wins the next year with the Yankees. The injuries mounted. Throw to first. Chisenhall retired, 1 away. He sprained the ligament in that right foot. That was the beginning of it. Then he had a hip abductor. Then a right shoulder problem. Right shoulder surgery. Right shoulder fatigue. A strained hamstring. A strained hip. I mean, it's one thing after another.
Yeah, once it starts, it was snowballing.
But for Kansas City, you know, hey, this was a low-risk sign. You know, you guy might be able to help your bullpen. It's already a good bullpen, so you don't need him to be a star. Kind of like Joe Nathan with the Cubs. You know, he made it clear to them, look, I've been a closer, but I'm not looking to come in here and be the closer. If you need me to pitch the 6th inning, whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do it at this point in my career. Ground ball to third. Cuthbert. Low throw, dug out by Hosmer, 2 down. And the final, Indians down to their final out as Tyler Naquin makes his way to the plate. Walked and scored his last time up. Off day tomorrow, and the Indians get back to work at Progressive Field Friday night when they welcome in the Chicago White Sox. And a fastball strike. Naquin sends a fly ball to left. Back goes Dyson. Still going back. Makes the catch. And the Royals return the favor by sweeping the Indians here in Kansas City. And they move into a first-place tie with the Tribe atop the Central Division standings as Kansas City has won their 5th in a row to go to 35-30 on the year. Same record as Cleveland. Ian Kennedy, the winner, is now 5-5. The loser, Corey Kluber, is now 6-7. So really a series in which the first two games were well played. They were one-run games. They were exciting right down to the wire. Tonight it got away from the Indians with a big fifth inning, but just too many little mistakes keep cropping up right now.
They did not play a good series. They had a lot of mistakes in this series. For one-run games, the first two anyway, and this one was a close game. They finally came back to tie it up, and then Kluber, gave it up. He gave up 4 runs. Of course, you had that leadoff thing, but you can dissect it and talk about it all you want. The thing of it is, they had a chance to have a pretty good road trip, and now with losing these 3 here, it turns into a bad trip because they ended up now being 4-6 on the trip. So they got a day off after 20 straight days of baseball. They're going to have to regroup and come back on Saturday, and we'll get the Chicago White Sox and see what we could do at home to them.
Yeah, the Indians are now 500 on the road, 18-18. They have played better at home where they're 17-12, and that's where the ball club is headed in just a couple of hours. So the final score tonight, Kansas City 9, Cleveland 4. Back with a final word right after this.